Good afternoon. My background's more on the technical side, accounting, auditing, fraud investigations, IT support. Um, and from that, I've been a manager and a leader, and have learned a lot of things over the years about learning and helping how others have helped me learn and how I've returned that and helping others. So my section here is going to cover three things. One, what technology was when I got out of college, so you can kind of see my perspective on some of my other points. And then a framework that I kind of have for myself on learning in general, whether it involves technology or not. And then we'll talk about the technology part of it and how that can facilitate things and improve things. So I'm stepping back in time here. When I graduated college, there was no electronic emails. If we wanted to talk to someone, we went to their office, we had to call and make an appointment. There was no cell phones. I actually had to talk to people and go to their desk or their workstation. There was no computer network. There was no connectivity, no large-scale data storage or analysis. My first laptop out of college, it had 2 ports on the side for floppy disks. One was for the program that you were going to run, and you can only run one program at a time. And the other floppy disk was for your files that you were working on. So we've come a long way, and technology has really advanced and improved what we can do. There's so much information we can analyze. As an auditor, I get large files to look at and to analyze, and as a consultant now, doing the same type of work. Large amounts of data and documents to look at. So what's this learning framework that can help us here to use the technology we're going to talk about? Self-motivation and self-initiative. You have to be in control of your own learning process. No one else is going to help you along. You have to set your objectives, what you want to learn, and have a plan for that. And it can be broken down into 2 areas. Skill maintenance. Things are changing so fast and updating. How do I maintain the skills for the position I'm in? And then skill advancement. If I want to move up eventually or to a different type of into management or a different type of career, what do I need to know and how am I going to get to learn that? Leadership. I believe everyone's a leader no matter what position you're in. For every person with a management title, there's at least one person in that department or group that's leading informally. So find what a leader means to you and work with that style, know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And my own perspective as a leader and manager came from seeing what others did that I didn't like. Managers and leaders that withheld information that I needed to do my job, or they didn't want to give me all the tools I needed to help accomplish what I needed to do. Another area in this framework is continuous learning and networking. Learn something new every day, my father always told me, whether it's by reading, by what you're doing and the experience you have with your work, or by watching others or listening to others. And one thing now we have to manage that we didn't have before is managing information and not being overloaded by it. You can get caught up and spinning your wheels just trying to keep up with all the information that's out there. And AI and technology can help us do that. And what we want to focus on that we're more interested in or can help us learn. And networking is something that you can learn invaluable things too. And when I switched from 24 and a half years as an auditor for the federal government, and then went to KPMG doing the same thing, but as a consultant, but I also took on a new role of having to promote projects and bring in some work. And that's where I learned there's networking and there's selling. And you can't sell unless you do networking first, because networking is just getting to know people, giving them a chance to get to know you without the pressure yet of trying to sell them something. Another important area is self-care, keeping a balanced workload in life. Know how to manage stress and what helps you the most. Have your own package of things for resilience, so you have better stress management when you do have that bad day at work or something fails on a project, you're going to miss a deadline. So have that own toolbox for what works for you, because it's different for everyone. And on different days, different things may work for each person also. So now let's get into the technology part a little that can help facilitate and increase our learning, coaching, and mentoring model. At the individual level, it helps with analytics and feedback. We can analyze individual skills, progress, and learning styles much easier by information that can be input. Your strengths and weaknesses through quizzes and simulations that also help assess where we are and where we want to go. Diversity. You can learn about different industries, learning styles, and leadership methods on a level that wasn't possible before. You couldn't just have time to go across town or to another city, another company, and maybe have someone as a coach or as a mentor. Something called note takers, which I just learned about, and it can take notes from meetings, and then it can analyze your style and your presentation style and give you hints on what you can do better. And all this is like auditing. Is the type of auditing I did was not to highlight someone individual non-compliance or problems, but to improve the system. Gather information, find the areas where something's not working right, and then how to fix it. And applying that to learning, looking at doing like a self-assessment or helping others do that in your career, looking where you want to grow or what you need to grow in, and then coming up with a plan to help get that knowledge and skills. It also helps, you can also analyze information in emails and other written products that you write, and it'll look at your style and how you're communicating and suggestions for improving that. And that's important, especially as an auditor or something where you're going to have longer emails and you want to come across effectively and get back the information and the response that you need. At the administrative level, it helps track goals and tasks on a much easier level, so you can be more focused on the learning itself and the mentoring and coaching. It reduces the burden of scheduling, review of documentation, management of documentation, and tracking progress, so that, again, more time is spent on the learning, the coaching, and mentoring. It helps convert like job descriptions. This would be like a forward-looking part of it. If you're thinking about changing careers or looking for something else, it can take job descriptions and evolve those into interview questions to help you look ahead and be more prepared. And I happened to mention to someone that I was doing this presentation, and they talked about how they used AI recently. Someone that's furloughed from the federal government, they don't know when they're going back to work, they're not getting paid. They don't have to show up, but they're also not getting paid. They have started to look for other positions in the private industry. And they knew, so they have an interview, they applied for a job, they have an interview, and they knew, they were told in the information who is going to be on the interview panel. They researched those people and found out some information about their leadership styles, things they've had said or have accomplished. And I don't know exactly how it was done with AI, but it produced, the output was the questions that each of these different people might ask. That's a very powerful tool to help people. When my daughter graduated college, or when my first daughter in 2015 entered college, they had orientation sessions for the parents and the students. And they told the parents that Your child probably every 5 to 8 years would change jobs. Now, I kind of knew that. I saw that happening. But the second part is what really got me thinking. They said every like 8 to 12 years, your child will probably change careers. And that was like an eye-opening thing to hear. So all this helps. It's all about using the technology to learn more, improve your skills, and to be able to assess where you are, what you need to learn, and where you want to go. And where you want to go next will help set the tone of what we might want as a coach or mentor and what skills to improve on.